Well, it's been estimated that the country is in deficit, housing deficit of about 28 million. As at 2023 national statistics. This is a huge gap for government to fill.
I would like to say to 1 million Nigerians to please do not forge certificates, don't forge appointment letters, don't pay anybody that says he will get you a job. Try to do everything legitimately and follow the law.
Hello viewers, and welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's Public Enlightenment Program. I am your host, Hawasani Garba. Section 6 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 empowers the ICPC to receive and investigate reports of corruption and, where necessary, prosecute offenders. This is one of the Commission's three-pronged mandate that has yielded significant results. ICPC has filed numerous cases against corrupt individuals across various courts in Nigeria. Today, we will review some of the Commission's most recent arraignments. Additionally, we will examine the opportunity costs of the funds involved in these cases and hear reports from our state offices. Stay with us. It promises to be highly informative. We will be right back.
Corruption not in my country.
So,
now, straight to business.
Good.
Now, that case between State versus Femi Wole.
Femi Wole.
Yes.
Is he your son?
That's my heir apparent.
Did he actually kill the wife?
His juvenile delinquency, they must have taken some few bottles.
A man of 40. Juvenile delinquent?
Now, what do we do? I don't want him to go to jail.
We are very good friends. But for this, I cannot help you.
You know I was so nice to you in school. I took care of you.
I'll politely leave.
No, you can't leave. How much do you want me to pay?
Wale, this is not about money. It's about the law. Bribing a judge to subvert the cause of justice is corruption. Not in my country.
Stop corruption now. Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You are watching Transparency Files. The first case we are examining today involves allegations of forgery and abuse of office against Mrs. Aishatu Abdullahi, a director at the National Boundary Commission, and Mrs. Gaji Rahila, an assistant chief accountant at the same agency. ICPC presented evidence in court showing how the duo conspired to enable Mrs. Rahila to participate in promotion and confirmation exercise to the rank of chief accountant level 14, while she was simultaneously employed by Galaxy Backbone Limited. Furthermore, Mrs. Rahila allegedly forged an admission letter from Carnegie Mellon University for her husband, Suleiman Mishara, to secure an approved leave of absence to travel with him. Our second report focuses on Mr. Eko Justin Okezie, who faced multiple charges of forgery and providing false information to ICPC officials. In a 9-count charge brought before Honorable Justice N.K. Nwosu Iheme, Okezie was accused of unlawfully receiving multiple salaries from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, despite not being a staff member. Additionally, he was found in possession of a forged employment letter from the Federal Civil Service of Nigeria. To shed more light on these cases, we spoke with a representative from our legal department. Let's take a listen.
The case is about the said Gaji Rahila, who is an accountant. She was working with National Boundary Commission as an accountant, on grade level 13. While she was working there, she forged an admission letter, purportedly made for her husband, that he got an admission in a university in Rwanda, where he was going for his master's in science technology. But what our investigation revealed was that admission letter was forged, and she only applied for that leave because she had she got a job at Galaxy Backbone. So instead of her to withdraw from service from National Boundary Commission, she applied for a leave of absence and then engaged herself with Galaxy Backbone, where she started working as an assistant manager. So from there, investigation revealed that she was working at Galaxy Backbone while she also participated in her promotion exercise in National Boundary Commission, and she also got promoted to grade level 14. So where the second defendant comes in, that's Aisha to Abdullahi, was that she was the one that approved the promotion and also filled a reference letter for Gaji Rahila from Galaxy Backbone, indicating that she had already left National Boundary Commission some years back. That is a clear offense which borders on Section 25 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act, wherein she misled another public office, stating that the Gaji Rahila was no longer employed with National Boundary Commission. But however, she was still on the nominal roll and financial accounts. In fact, she had been collecting salary for almost 5 months from both Galaxy Backbone and National Boundary Commission. They have been arraigned on a 5-count charge, which borders on forgery, conspiracy, false provision of false information, false statements, and abuse of office. The judge granted them bail on very liberal terms. They had to produce 2 shorties who are on a direct rate cadre. These shorties should be resident in Abuja and have proof that they are resident in Abuja, and they should also sign an undertaking to produce the defendants whenever the defendants do not come to court. And also the defendants were ordered to submit their international passports with the court registrar. The second case also borders on forgery and receiving money under false pretense, and this just means that the defendant forged an appointment letter purporting to have been appointed by that agency, and so all the salary that he received was received under false pretense because he was never employed there in the first place. So that is what the charge is about. So in conclusion, I would like to say to 1 million Nigerians to please do not forge certificates. Don't forge appointment letters. Don't pay anybody that says he will get you a job. Try to do everything legitimately and follow the law, please.
Welcome back. We continue our review of recent arraignments by the Commission in the last quarter of 2024. A staggering $65 million earmarked for the development of 962 residential housing units in Kubwa, Abuja, was allegedly diverted by the former Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Gimba Kumu Yao. Along with 2 accomplices, ICPC has arraigned them in court for this offense. How did this happen? Let's find out.
Money laundering is just a process of, laundrymen, washing your clothes, trying to make money gotten illegitimately, illegally, try to now place them into the system to make them look as if the money is legitimately earned. The Commission filed a charge at the Federal High Court before Honorable Justice J.K. Omotosho in respect of Gimba Kumo Yao, the former Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank, then one Mr. Ogushola, the Executive Director in the said bank too, and one private businessman, the owner of T-Brent Limited, Mr. Terry Rufus. The money was meant to be used to build an estate, Goodluck Jonathan Legacy Estate, somewhere along Kubwa Express Road, but the project was never executed. We charged them under Section 61 of the Public Enterprises Act, which says we provide a failure to supervise a contract given. In the case of the MD and the Executive Director of Federal Mortgage Bank, they released such a huge amount to the company and there was no supervision. The project was not carried out till today as we speak. And for the other companies, knowing fully well that these sums were process of an unlawful act, we are charging them under the Money Laundering Act for receiving sums they knew were from unlawful activities and converted same to foreign currency and dissipated the money. So the case is ongoing now, Honorable Justice Jacob Motosho, and we are hoping the case will be heard expeditiously, and we are hoping we'll get a conviction from there. They were granted bail initially, they could not meet the conditions, and they were remanded in prison. And I think they finally, after a while, they finally met the conditions and they were released from prison.
It is no longer news that corruption through misallocation of resources, fund diversion, and misuse leads to economic underdevelopment, diminished public services, and a loss of trust in institutions. ICPC's quantity surveyor, Baba Jibrin, shares insights on how the $65 million mentioned in the previous case could have alleviated Nigeria's housing deficit if it had been properly utilized. Let's hear from him.
Well, it's been estimated that the country is in deficit, housing deficit of about 28 million. as at 2023 national statistics. This is a huge gap for government to fill. And it's been estimated that on the average of about 700 units of housing, dwelling homes, if provided, will be able to meet up or catch up with this gap annually. And you should imagine that number and the current cost factors, especially the economy. Now, coming from there, imagining that one person taking $65 million, translating it to about 104 billion naira, it's a huge amount that will have gone a long way in reducing, the gap we're speaking about in terms of the housing deficit. For instance, I imagine and I would estimate that if a 2-bedroom house, dwelling home, is estimated at 30 million naira a unit, is to be constructed with this amount under the current Nigerian inflationary factor, we're looking at about 3,466 units homes, which, if provided, would have been available for medium and low income earners in Nigeria, to have as somewhere they call home, the roof over their head. Similarly, you look at a 3-bedroom apartment building, bungalow, for instance, estimating at between 50 and 65 million naira, would probably give you about 160,000 units. 1,600 units are meant to be corrected. So that again, it's another gap that if this money available for will have further reduced the gap we're talking about in the housing deficit, which is a very huge disincentive by one Nigerian, a public officer, picking this amount. It comes with a whole lot of sadness that indeed Nigerians can look down on the desk of responsibility to pick such amounts that would have served the country, Nigerians, in this way. This calls for all Nigerians to look at the corruption issues more seriously, come on board to fight against corruption, so that in every way we can curb it. Because $65 million is a huge amount that could have provided sufficient dwelling homes reasonably, covering at least significant, even though not much, in the required deficit, but that is a long way for the government to start from.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
This is a Cinema production. Corruption not in my country.
So, now, straight to business.
Good.
Now, that case between State versus Femi Wale.
Femi Wale.
Yes.
Is he your son?
That's my heir apparent.
Did he actually kill the wife?
His juvenile delinquency, they must have taken some few bottles.
A man of 40. Juvenile delinquent?
Now, what do we do? I don't want him to go to jail.
We are very good friends. But for this, I cannot help you.
You know I was so nice to you in school. I took care of you.
I'll politely leave.
No, you can't leave. How much do you want me to pay?
Wale, this is not about money. It's about the law. Bribing a judge to subvert the cause of justice is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Next, we take a look at reports from our state offices with Damilola as our guide for today. Take a listen.
Reports from Maiduguri reveals that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Linus Gubi, led a team to the Borno State Office of the Department of State Services, DSS, to seek collaboration to strengthen the fight against corruption in Nigeria. He highlighted the pivotal role intelligence sharing among security agencies play in combating crime. The delegation was received by the DSS Borno State Director, Mr. A.A. Umar, who pledged the service's commitment to partner with ICPC to tackle the menace of corruption in the state. Coming from Rivers State, Ms. Tamara Ebebi of the Public Enlightenment and Education Department has sensitized the students of Community Secondary School, Okutukutu, and Government Science and Technical College, Okaka, in Yenagua, Bayelsa State, on the need to be honest and disciplined to have a good future. She described honesty as an essential of life. Thus, she enjoined the students of both schools to possess its virtue to achieve a great future. And from Ondo State, Mr. Jeremy Ganiu Owolabi of Public Enlightenment and Education Department has sensitized the officials of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Akure branch, on the importance of upholding ethical conduct in government business. He held that ethical governance remains significant to Nigeria's anti-corruption fight and emphasized the need for financial institutions like Federal Mortgage Bank to prioritize ethics to ensure an impartial mortgage access for Nigerians.
That's all we can take for today. Remember to stay away from corruption and uphold integrity at all times. ICPC is watching. This and other editions of our program are available on our YouTube page at ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.